Hey, what's cracking? The new dungeon is finally out, and here you will find everything you need to know about it. Every character that reached at least level 50 can enter it, and there are 200 stages. In every 50 stages, there will be one boss. The first 3 bosses are mini bosses, while the one you will encounter at stage 200 is a proper boss. So let's now get into the mechanics. Upon entering, you will see that you can pick between 2 options, going left or right. In total there are 5 different kind of doors. There always will be a monster in there, and I will later get into further detail about how fights work. This one is obviously pretty random. It is very likely that there will be a monster, but there also can be either nothing, a corpse, or wooden boxes. Now this is one of the rarest, but best doors, as it could contain epic treasure, or a hole which can be used to skip several stages, as you can see here, or some other special rooms which contain resources. But you will run into the risk of a monster deceiving you, or there being lava which cannot be avoided at all and deals you damage. Additionally, you might run into a mysterious room which fills with water, but otherwise seems to do nothing. Of course the wall blocks you, and in some situations this is very frustrating, as you cannot avoid traps if there are any on the other door. It seems to spawn incredibly seldom, but it always spawns every 50 stages to force you to fight the boss. You need keys to access those doors. The rooms hidden behind them may contain treasures, corpses, boxes, or absolutely nothing. So there's no risk involved, which can come in handy. But the question appears where you get keys from. And well, that's the painful part, as those can only be obtained from fights. Overall, fights really feel repetitive, as no fight has a unique feeling to it. Fights against normal monsters last 3 turns, and against bosses they last 7 turns. So no matter what class you play or how high your stats are, fights will always last for that duration. When getting into a room with a monster, you have 2 options. You either fight or try to flee, which apparently has a chance of 50% to succeed, but if you fail you will get hit for the base damage. Fights against normal monsters reward you with a key or gold. By the way, you can't flee boss fights. Normal enemies deal around 4% of your max HP in damage, and in comparison the damage output of bosses is half a percent lower than that, which equals 3.5%. Those percentages are very vague, and a range of plus minus 0.5% should be considered. By the way, keep in mind that those values double after defeating the first boss and triple after defeating the third boss. Traps deal 5% of your max HP in damage, and that is why watching out for them is very important. And in that rubric are also barrels, but the chance in my experience is very low for them to hurt you. So it is worth to take the tiny risk for the potential gold reward. And about the corpses, it seems risky to click on them, as the chance is pretty high that you have to fight them then, but you get gold from them at least. You can earn a lot of gold from boxes, treasure chests and so on, and additionally you can earn many excellent items. While mini bosses reward you with an epic item, defeating the last boss of the dungeon rewards you with a sought after legendary item. Legendaries are superior to epic items, so there are a lot of reasons to participate in this event. And then you should not forget the many treasure chests you will find in the dungeon, as those can contain epics, normal items or gold. I mean, just look at all those epics I have acquired by just defeating all stages one time. If you play your cards correctly, it is possible to easily clear the first 45 stages in one try. You should always try to have at least 2 keys in your inventory to avoid future traps, as the second option mostly consists of a locked door. And when you get the choice between a question mark door and a monster door, you should always pick the first option, as this at least gives you a chance of receiving a reward and reduces possible damage intake. Okay, not exactly always, as when you have no keys left, it might be smarter to directly fight the monster to avoid future traps, as you obviously should always avoid stepping into a trap. Fleeing from a fight seems to mostly be a bad move, as getting a key from the monster and entering a locked door saves you from taking any damage, which basically balances out the received damage. So, to sum it up, Always have 2 keys in your hand, try to avoid traps and monster doors, and try not to flee from a fight. Don't worry people, you are easily able to complete the dungeon without buying mushrooms, as you should need more than 9 attempts. I've completed it within 8 attempts, and completing it with even less attempts would definitely be possible with a good RNG. In the end, it could be criticized that the system behind it is pay to win, as you can become OP for your level really quick with the amount of epics and legendaries you can receive. But well, maybe instead of being able to complete the dungeon unlimited times, everyone should be allowed to only complete it, let's say 2 times for balance reasons. Summed up, this dungeon is a very good source for gold and items, but in all honesty, going through it gets pretty repetitive. At least something new, I suppose. Goodbye guys.